Once again, thanks to the family for joining us here today. And as they say, we'll proudly sport 68 forever on all Raiders helmets for 2024 and beyond.
Hi.
Can I give me a head at the levy? I'm not going to be able to figure it out.
Oh, try this. I got the other table here. Try this one. Okay, I'll be right there. bad cable.
Once again, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to beautiful Q Field at NDSS, Nanaimo District Secondary School in the Harbor City. A beautiful sunny July afternoon on Bathtub Weekend. At this time, please welcome to the field, the Okanagan Sun. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Okanagan Sun. Here we are at the home opener of your Vancouver Island Raiders. And now we present, under the fine leadership of President Andrew Harris and head coach Sean Arabsky, ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 VI Raiders! We hope you enjoyed today's game. We'll remind you we have a hot dog food truck up in the vendor area and of course a beer garden with refreshments and of course there's soft drinks as well. Once again, welcome to the Vancouver Island Raiders and the Okanagan Sun Bathtub Weekend in the Harbor City. At this time, we ask that you remove your hats and rise if you are able, and join us and Danielle Peacock in the singing of our national anthem.
And welcome to Nanaimo District Secondary School. And it'll be the site of today's contest, the Okanagan Sun visiting Vancouver Island and ready to take on the New Look Raiders, who, after a disappointing 2023 campaign, are looking forward to fresh starts, new beginnings, and Andrew Harris is a big part of that equation. And moving forward, now they've been moved to the board of directors, he's got full decision-making ability over the process and over the comings and goings of not only the going to be a great staff, going to be a great season, and they really have been making changes, and you can see now the team's getting ready for the coin toss and deciding who's going to take first ownership of the ball here this afternoon on this great turf, great surface to play on. And even though the stands aren't completely full today, they're up against a little bit of competition. Actually, this weekend is the Nanaimo bathtub races, which every third weekend in July is a pretty big deal. And certainly looking forward to seeing how this crowd's able to respond to the energy and the excitement that's been brought into this new season. And I certainly, for one, am very curious and interested to see how these boys in black and red respond this afternoon. A big win for the Okanagan Sun to open up this season. They're now 1-0. A win over Langley, giving them a little bit of reason for hopefulness. And look at them get ready for this contest. Same with the Raiders. It's one of my favorite parts of the sport, is just the power and energy of the team coming together in the big team-wide huddle, and both teams doing that now with aplomb.
The only issue is going to be like pick or go, and like you just have to the ball.
The officials doing a huddle of their own at midfield, talking over a little bit of strategy and a little bit of camaraderie before the game starts. It's a heavy load that they carry during the game. It's a game of inches, and calls and penalties are definitely very important to the outcome of any football contest, and today will be no different. And they're looking quite unified and professional today. Looking forward to should be a smashing contest here this afternoon. A little bit of a westerly blowing wind, so that may impact this kickoff here just a little bit. And of course, the Sun will be ready to kick this ball away and open up this football contest. One has to believe that the table is set differently for this home opener here for the VI Raiders. And there's the whistle, and the ball is airborne. Picked up in the backfield. Good start there. Running around the outside, got clipped up, but he still managed an extra 3 or 4 yards as he scrambles near the 38. And a good opening sequence here for the Raiders. And Savion Townsend, the defensive back, 6'1", 200-pound back. He makes good coverage on the field as he busted over to his right, found a little bit of a seam, and scrambled for a couple extra yards. And there's the fake handoff right from the set there. Sadler Smith goes to the outside, and he's wrapped up and maybe made line of scrimmage as he tried to make his way around to the outside on the fake. Second and 10. Raiders 36. Set in the center position. Jake Giacchis ready to snap that ball. A little bit of motion there as the ball is thrown in the air. Good catch on the outside, and he pulls it in. Good job there by Riker Sansbury, and he hasn't missed a step since last season. And I still swear he's got some of the best dance moves in the BC Football Conference, and you'll see it on the initial intro sometimes when we fire this one up. And maybe at halftime as the hurry-up offense moves into position. The 49. 2 in motion on the near side as they stop up. The run comes to the outside, being dragged down. Owen Giancola. There's a little bit extra scramble on the ground there.
And on this side, that one, too. Trace not to go out there on top.
Looks like a gain of about a yard on the play.
He might have been spiking.
And now the Raiders with an important down here. Lining up wide on the left side. A little bit of motion, though, detected by the near side referee, and they're going to stop things here. Let's. Might be going, yes, it is going against the Raiders, so. Negates a little bit of the nice reception by Riker Sansbury, but they'll go back to work.
Okay.
At their own 45.
Only second down. 6 to 3.
Into the pocket, loads downfield, and he's looking over his shoulder, and there's a flag on the play as the near side official throws his flag, and the downfield coverage
Did not touch.
might have been a little push off. It's hard to say, but the referees are going to make a quick discussion as they recollect their penalty flags, but it's good news, it looks like, for the Raiders on that long downfield attempt. Just a few yards shy for the Raiders receiver. Sadler throws into the running back, and he's able to grab a couple of yards. Owen Giancola as he charges forward. Just a little bit of room opened up, and one thing you have to really recognize about the Okanagan Sun team is they have a very, very large set of men, not just on the defensive line, but on the offensive line as well. And one of the linemen coming in at 6'5", 370 pounds, and that's a workload for any football player in this league to have to handle. So the Raiders doing a good job to even open up these little seams, chip away at it a couple of yards at a time. 3rd and 10, dropping back once again, looking for the near side, and it's caught. What an amazing catch as he reels it in. And the argument is on the field that it wasn't caught in bounds, but they are saying it was caught in bounds right around the 25 yard line, and great field position for the Raiders, and what an awesome opening sequence for them here. Just a great catch there. And another snap plays they make through. Whoa, that was a hard tackle, but great yardage there as the sneak comes through, and another great run by the quarterback as he's making good decisions down there. Opening up, and you can see he wants to keep the momentum going here. Trying to signal for what I believe is a hurry-up offense. You see the play clock is at 12, now 11. Sadler Smith Jackson Hole, Wyoming native tried to send it over to Giancarlo, and he gets dropped down. Did he lose the ball? No, there is a bit of a commotion, and now a little bit of tempers flaring there as more players move into that little gathering there right around the 20-yard line. And indeed, the ball will be placed at around the 19. Oh, pardon me, that'll a little closer to the 21-yard line here as the Raiders. 2nd and 10.
Down mark is the goal clock. They're not kicking a field goal on 2nd down. These guys have to figure it out.
There must have been some kind of penalty. They go for the kick, and it's through the uprights. It's a bit of a trying to decipher what the call on the play was, because the field clock was showing that it was still in an additional down territory, but indeed it looks like it's up through the uprights, and the Raiders will claim the first points of the game as they put up the 3 on the field goal. So the Raiders are able to capitalize on that good opening sequence and that catch by Riker Sansbury. And Ruben Bonsu with that great haul in on the near side that really moved the chains for the Raiders, and that was a significant catch en route to the Raiders opening up. Of course, they would have loved to cash in the end zone, but 3 points is 3 points, and they'll get ready to kick the ball away for the first time in this game. See what the Okanagan Sun have in store on this return. Ball is sent deep into the backfield. 4 Raiders coming together in the middle, including Luke Dawson as he gets in on that tackle right around the 40-yard line. So that's where the Sun will go to work on this opening drive for them. Kyle Dennis with some good work there in the backfield, and now the Okanagan Sun getting set to take things on their first offensive rally here. There's the toss back to the left from Hunter Norman. And it looks like maybe lost it. The ball come loose. It's hard to see from here, but if it did, the Raiders aren't celebrating it. And it looks like it's going to be placed right around the 43. So a gain of about 3 yards on that run. The Raiders' defensive line doing a good job of pushing that ball carrier towards the outside of the field and wrapping him up, negating any further damage on the play. 2nd and about 7. There's the over top pass and a good wrap up of the leg. A good defensive play as the ball comes down right around the 50, and it's going to be very, very close. We're going to have to see where they spot this one. But I think indeed that they did make the first down. It is a first down for the Sun. And just by a couple of inches, literally, they moved the ball past the up towards the midfield line here. 5 yards off of the midfield area.
I'll do my best.
Be careful on 11 and 1 boundary DB.
Merrick Philippek over on the toss to Alelia Noah, and he gets a number of yards as he skirts out to the left side.
Okay, I'm going to try it.
And it looks like he's made it to right around the 52. now the fans really getting into it here as a lot of commotion on the field as the ball's placed right at the 50, or pardon me, it looks like the 48-yard line, and the Sun in the huddle now, and there was that scramble as reaching back for that one, Luke Windsor, the Kingston, Ontario native, reaching and making sure that it stays in Okanagan Sun possession. Rolling to the outside. There's the throw. No, it was dropped on the near side. Incomplete. And he was searching for Dominic Peterson, and Peterson had it momentarily, but the ball was thrown hard and it dropped right straight down. You can see him rolling to the outside. It was a well-thrown ball, but he could hear the footsteps coming. And Kaya Saunders was rushing to the outside and helped force that turnover, or the drop ball, pardon me, and once again from the 48. Just a couple seconds on the action clock, and it's punted away over to the left side of the field. Bounces in the turf, and they're just going to... That ball was waved off, and now that extra action, there's a flag thrown from the far side official. And it had to do with after they ruled that ball was no longer live, and someone got in there. Jacob Bond on your screen there wants to see what. Yeah. Okay, are you able to hear me? Another look at Jacob Bond, the defensive lineman, 6'3", 230-pounder out of Kamloops, BC. And, I just want to take a moment to send a good well wishes out to any families affected by the Jasper wildfires. Some pretty devastating news, but also some powerful stories have come out of that. And again, to anyone affected or their friends and family, there's a couple of people in Nanaimo that have had family have to leave the area. So good look at the Raiders crew as they'll bring on the new line, as do the Sun. And you can't get much closer to a goal line defense than where the Raiders will resume from here after that kick. Liam Atwood with good placement on that one for the Okanagan Sun, and the Raiders with the unenviable task of working from right near their own goal line, but that's where they're going to go to work. Sadler Smith looking downfield, but he's going to opt out over to the right. And once again, Ruben Bonsu with the catch reception there, the second-year player out of Toronto. And he's had a significant mark so far in the early goings here. 6.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. If you're just joining us on bcfctv.com or Telus Optic. Thrown downfield, and it was in and out of the arms. And that was close, as Riker Sansbury had it very momentarily, but he was being heavily covered on that screen pass through the middle. And that's going to bring about a couple of different units here. Riker Sansbury on your screens there. Looked like he wanted to move up a little bit more, but he's going to be right back in now, right from about the goal line, and he jumps up, both feet getting into the action there as it's downfield. And wrapped up nicely. Down goes Micah Seibert. And a great tackle there as Seibert just ran out of room very quickly. The Raiders reacting well downfield to that kick, and very good, basically guessed to which side he was going to operate from. And so the Sun from about the 45, it looks, oh no, they're actually moving it even further downfield to right at center. Unbelievable. And so the Sun with less than fortuitous ball position after that penalty on the kick return. 1st and 10, 12 on the time clock here. There's the fake handoff. Now looking downfield over the shoulders. It bounces off the inside of the palms of Jordan Falconer, or Jordan Falconer. Had it bounce more off of the inside of his wrist than anything as he tried to clamp his hands around that ball. And he was right there near the 30-yard photographer trying to haul that one in. And Felice Toscano also coming up important in that drive. And keeping that reception from happening. 2nd down. Right from the center area. Into the pocket goes Philippek, looking downfield, and it's caught and brought in around the 37. So the Sun moving the chains a little bit there for the 1st down. Philippek, he only took 2 steps back as he delivered that ball perfectly in between 4 defenders. And you see right at the end there, the closest one to him was Nate Haliuk. Haliuk, I believe, getting the first touch on him as he goes down. But a good throw by Philippek, 2 steps back and let that one fly. And it was perfectly landed in the pocket. And a little bit of a hydration break here for the Sun as they get ready to try and advance this ball right around the 37. So the Raiders with some important defensive work to do here. There's a look from the back at Connor Bjorgen from West Kelowna, BC. And as I mentioned, even though they're competing with the bathtub races, oh, and there's a very familiar face in the front row, getting a very good look of the field. And as I mentioned, bathtub races on this weekend, but still a pretty good showing here. Nanaimo District Secondary School. And the weather's pretty good for the event, not stifling hot. And I'm seeing a lot of cups of golden liquid down in the stands there. Great way to enjoy the afternoon and celebrate some excellence, celebrate some great football like we're watching right now. And again, thank you for being with us here as we get set to see if the Okanagan Sun can threaten this 3-0 lead being held by the Raiders. Early goings, just under 5 minutes to go. 2/3 of the way through this first quarter.
They're trying to fix the sign right now. The bottom right of my shot.
I think there's a bit of a discussion on the side field there about the how the board was being flipped, and that led to that early discussion that we had. And again, my bad. They didn't have the proper number flipped over, so they were basically, when it was second down, it was third down, so that's why it seemed a bit early for that kick attempt for the Raiders, but it looks like they've got it fixed, and it looks nice and pliable, and we're ready to zoom right back into BC Football Conference action. Sun, Raiders 1-0-0 on the season. There's a fumble, and is it grabbed by the Raiders? Yes, they're pointing downfield, and that is a very fortuitous turn of events for the Raiders. Big fumble recovery, and oh my goodness, look at that. We'll get a look at the replay here as he had his right knee kind of caught up, and as it got caught up, he seemed to lose a little bit of possession of the ball. He hit the ground, his arms were outstretched, and that ball pops loose. Big turnover for the Raiders, and very important to stifle that opening drive by the Sun. There's the handoff on the near side, stretching the field way wide. Ruben Bonsu, and he's forced out right near the 40-yard line. And a great play by the Raiders defensively gets them the ball back. And they've got lots of time to work with here in this first quarter. Just a little issue with the side chains there. Both clubs on the field getting a little bit of a breather here. Looking at the first down area, 4 yards away, loads, fires over, and that's caught. And it looked like it was Riker Sansbury, but I can't be 100% certain. Actually, no, pardon me, that was Blaze McCarty. And Blaze McCarty, the first-year player, with a good catch, and the chains needing to be moved now as the ball is placed at the 52-yard line. So the Raiders making good on this early turnover, forcing the fumble, and let's see what Sadler Smith has in store here. Gets some protection off the two sides. He's going downfield, Ruben Bonsu, and it's caught. Rolls off of a check, and he's running for the end zone. He's there.
Let's go!
Ruben Bonsu with a beautiful roll off of the defender, and he finds the end zone. They're going to fire up the lucky cycle for that one. If it's Saturday or Sunday and you smell some motorcycle fuel, it might just be the VI Raiders putting the ball into the end zone. And look at that move as Ahmed Borhat just can't contain him off the initial touch. And the kick follows through for the 10-0 lead. The VI Raiders shocking some folks here early, but some great defensive work right around their 35-yard line just really led to some pay dirt. And Ruben Bonsu giving the Raiders a much-deserved 10-0 lead here with 3:20 left to go in the first quarter. There's a good look at Kyle Kearns, the local Nanaimo first-year product. 6 foot 1 inch, 170 pounds. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of size on the Okanagan Sun roster. As I mentioned, if you go to the Okanagan Sun website and take a look at some of the sizes and weights of these individuals. It's just astonishing. They are indeed full-sized men out on the field, and can be a very beautiful game, but it can also be a very physically exhausting and punishing game. Raiders punt it away as it drops down near the 25. Jordan Falconer looking for some room out on the left, and now he's grabbed and brought down right around the 50-yard line. And that's where the Sun will go to work. A good return by the Sun. Jordan Falconer. It has to be said that the rest of his teammates did a good job in support as he broke to the left side of the field. Running with him, a couple of solid blocks, getting them right down to, looks to be about the 51-yard line, where they'll go to work, hand it off to the running back, and he gets brought down, but not before grabbing a few yards to about the 45, maybe 46-yard line as well. They'll mark that one. It's 2nd and 4. Philippek looking downfield. It's up in the air. Oh, he had it in his right arm, but he just couldn't hang on. And look at that coverage from Felice Toscano. And another time that he is factored in on these deep balls and just managed to get his hand up. Maybe blocked out a little bit of the sun, a little bit of the view of the ball, but whatever he did, that ball got dropped. And it was another well-thrown ball, and they both went to the ground about the same time. And that was Griffin Leah. Just about had that one in his right arm, tucked in the crook of his shoulder, but it's going to force the punt from the Sun, and it's a very short, wobbly punt. And it bounces in the turf, and they're just daring the Raiders to touch it. And that's picked up and carried by Luke Dawson as he'll rumble forward for a few extra yards after the ball picked up from the turf. Just enough yards looked like was afforded by the Sun. Ball about the 27-yard line. And the Raiders still holding a 10-0 lead. Luke Dawson with the short run, but well played, and no turnover. Most importantly, is sometimes you see on some special team return units, everything's great except for somehow the ball pops loose, motion on the near side, and he's going to give the quarterback a chance to run, dives in through two players, and he just sneaks in underneath Jacob Bond and picks up a few there. Going to have to see exactly where they spot that, but he's not too far from the first down. Looks like he's about a yard and a half shy here, maybe 2 yards shy, 2 and a bit. As Sadler Smith has motion coming in from the inside. That was Riker Sansbury, and he's going to throw to him. He completes it on the near side, bounces off of a tackle, and it comes out of bounds. There's the first down, and the Raiders looking very good in this opening quarter. Good job by Riker Sansbury. That pattern run with extreme efficiency. He didn't interfere with the snapping of the ball, but he created enough illusion in there that he was maybe going to be a little bit tighter into the quarterback than he was, and he makes a perfect dash. And well thrown by Sadler Smith, and a well-deserved hydration break here for the Raiders after a couple of more successful plays. Of course, the Raiders, a very small serving sample so far here, but a 39-34 opening game loss to the Prince George Kodiaks, and it was, it just was very heartening to see so many offensive points being put up by the Raiders. You'd have to think that 34 points, if I go back and collect any 2 games from last season, they would be hard-pressed to get towards that total. So already some big changes in effect. I know it's a small serving sample, but certainly liking the early look of this rejuvenated VI Raiders team. Of course, Andrew Harris coming in, and not just the CFL legend, but also a local legend, and had an interesting conversation with my neighbor just the other day. We'll get to that as they throw it to the outside, clipped up a little bit, but a couple of yards after that tackle as Paul Romanoff scrambles, the fourth-year product, with some veteran moves there as he just continues to keep those legs driving forward. What a great run, and he made a lot out of a little molehill, that's for sure. Paul Romanoff, great work out of the backfield. And once again, the VI Raiders right near the center of the field. The handoff from Sadler Smith, and a usual suspect target. Owen Giancola charges forward with that one. Good for maybe 1.5 yards, maybe 2. And some important decisions to make here for the Raiders as 8 seconds left on the play clock. And final play of the quarter. There's the snap. Sadler Smith buying some time, throws it downfield. It's a Hail Mary, but it was almost intercepted on the near side. And up in the air, David Lewis nearly getting his hands on that one. But that's the final play of the first quarter. And the VI Raiders certainly have to be pleased with where they sit right now. 10-0 lead after 15. And that'll translate over here to the second quarter. Another look at David Lewis there, the defensive back that challenged for that ball at the very end of that quarter. So a flip of scenery. And the Raiders now looking more southwesterly now. There's the snap. A little bit of trouble with it, but Sansbury gets it away, kicks it downfield, and it bounces out right around the 20. I just wanted to throw a quick shout out to Jan and Mike, some of our crew here, and I'll get to a couple of our cameramen here closer to the half. Such great work being done here today, getting you nice and tight there down on the field with some good shots. Nothing quite like a late July game outdoors here in Nanaimo. And the island's been flooded with visitors this off-season. Summer vacation, and there's a lot of traffic. Bowen was bumper to bumper last night. Sun. Ball is knocked down, and getting a hand on it. That's a great job. And I want to say it was maybe Xavier Insco, but it could be Carson Danchek. They did make a couple of changes there. But regardless, getting that right hand in there and knocking that ball down, there was just nothing else to be done on the play. The ball got grounded immediately. Second down, 9 on the play clock. 2 in motion on the right side, but it goes through the middle and it's caught, brought in. Now he's got 3 defenders on him, but he rolls off of 1, now 2, and he's finally wrestled to the ground. Marcus Burden hauling that one in, and once again we're right around the midfield area. Looks like around the 54-yard line is where the Sun get to go to work with this one. A good catch, and he eludes that first tackle. But on the assist, Colton Finstad helping wrap him up and bring him down. Fakes the handoff on the near side, caught by Sam Mellinson. And Mellinson grabs an extra couple yards there on the movement after the catch, moving the ball to right about the 50-yard line of the Raiders. There's Savion Townsend on your screens there momentarily, number 11. And he's lined up on the near side. There's the handoff for Elelion Noah. And he gets around one tackle and to the outside, brought down. Looks like somewhere around the 30-yard line. Actually, looks like they'll spot it about the 32, but again, the chains get moved. And Elelion Noah, the running back, went into real bulldozer mode there along the far side of the field. And it took 3 Raiders to finally bring him down to the turf. There's the snap. Throwing it down the right side, up in the air. Was it a one-handed catch? But they're saying it was out of bounds, so he did hang on to the ball, but it looks like they're ruling it out of bounds catch. And another good throw there from Merrick Philippek. Ty Walker, the receiver there on the far right of the field. 32-yard line for the Sun. 3rd down. One helmet comes off. There's a flag on the play. The ball goes way deep downfield, and it's not caught in the end zone. No reception in the end zone. And we get to see what the infraction was, but a Raider helmet did go flying off in that very busy exchange after the snap. And there was a look at Nick Diellison for the Sun, number 80. And indeed, that was Caleb Charlton on your screens, and it looked like it was a face masking call, so that would make sense with one of the Raiders' helmets going rolling on the field. So it will be so 2nd down over, but then much less fortuitous field position right about the 48. So 15-yard face mask penalty assessed against the Sun, and that's got them a little bit further away than they would have liked to start this drive, but and 4 players lined up along the yellow line. They are indeed going to punt it away. So a costly face mask penalty, and way back letting it roll out of bounds there, Savion Townsend. The first-year player will just let it roll out of bounds, no return, and it's going to be deep once again, starting position for the Raiders. And right now they hold the 2 most important things. One is the football, and the other is the 10-0 lead on the scoreboard. So it looks like it'll be right from about the 2-yard line there. Sadler Smith and company now lining up. Two at his side, and again they close the gap. The ball is thrown to his left, but it's underthrown, and that's not going to find anyone as it bounces into the turf. Good, maybe 7 or 8 yards shy of the target. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 2. Sadler Smith now deep downfield. Oh, it bounced off of the shoulder of Paul Romanoff, his left shoulder as he jumped up. Boy, if he could have hauled that one in, would that have ever been a reception under the double coverage? But that'll bring about the punting team here as Paul Romanoff just not quite able to haul that one in, but it was a good safe play if you ask me. You may as well try and throw the football, and they're really spreading out the defense there, but the Sun will have pretty decent field position here after this kick, provided everything goes according to plan on the return. Riker Sansbury boots that one away, and it lands about the 25. They're having a tough time dragging the ball carrier down. That's Blaze McCarty with the ball, pops up out of the pile. And as I mentioned, a very strong opportunity here for the Sun. A fresh set of downs and going to work right about the 25-yard line. Oh no, pardon me, they move it right up to the 20. So maybe not enough yards given on that punt return. So from the 20-yard line, so they're in what they call the red zone, the danger zone, and the Sun with some motion out of the backfield. Marcus Burden running through, but the ball on the carry looks like they made maybe 3.5, 4 yards on the run. Important placement here for Merrick Philippek as he holds. Thought he was going to maybe hand that one off, but instead he throws it over to his right, and there's no one home. The route looked like it had been overrun, and there is a flag on the field from the backside official. So it looks like this ball is coming back 5 yards. Or is it? They looked like they were marking off, but well, regardless, the ball's at the there we go. They're moving it back a little bit to about the 17-yard line. 2nd down. The Sun, all sorts of opportunity in front of them. It's an important drive here, and you can bet they'd love to come away with a major. And this is the down that's going to speak a lot to that. The fake handoff. Philippek goes deep to his right, downfield. I think that's in and out of the arms. What a great recovery by the backside VI Raider. Oh my goodness, Felipe Toscano. How important has he been today? Number one. All sorts of problems he's been delivering for these wide receivers. And look at that. Look at the recoveries. He just managed at the last moment to close that gap. He must have covered an extra 3 yards there while that ball hung in the air. And an amazing effort by Felipe Toscano. And what a great start he's having here at home. The Ladysmith native. Defensive back, 6'0", 190 pounds, but his athleticism was on full display there. And the VI Raiders have the ball thanks to another good defensive effort. And that's got to have Sean Arabsky and his crew happy on the handoff. Giancola found one block, and then he rumbles up to about the 21, gets one final block on the backside from Oscar DeVos, the North Yorkshire UK first-year player. Good defensive showing here so far by the Raiders. Of course, the Sun were able to put up some points respectably against Langley, but here in today's contest, at least halfway through the second, there's another deep ball looking downfield, and it's into the arms. What a catch! Paul Romanoff. This one's not going to bounce off of the right shoulder, and he brings it down at the midfield. Paul Romanoff. He wins this jump ball, and a great throw. Just a little bit to his left, and it was enough to shield it from the defender. And the Raiders putting together some good drives here. Two in motion on the near side and the far side. Fakes the handoff, but he had to go into the turf there, and he maybe made it to the center line, maybe half a yard plus. And that's where they'll go here for second down. Yeah. So it looks like the Raiders taking their timeout here. And probably a smart move here by Sean Arabsky. Give the boys a quick little watering, maybe some instructions from the bench on what to do with this ball now that they're halfway down the field. Again, it can't be overstated. Felipe Toscano, the fourth-year product, really having an imprint on this game, especially defensively, but breaking up three very close reception opportunities for the Okanagan Sun. And he's really, so far he's looking fantastic here in his 2024 home opener. We've got 5 of these to get through, and they're all hopefully going to be as exciting and entertaining as this one. There's a fake handoff, dropping way back, screen pass, juggled a little bit, but then brought down for a loss of about 4 yards. Jack McLeod had to jump up and grab that one, and the first-year Regina, Saskatchewan player couldn't really do a lot after the initial little bounce in his arms. He had to make sure he brought that one in. And a little bit of adoration there for David Lewis. He's also been a bright light here so far for the Sun, and he was very responsible for those couple of yard loss there for the Raiders. Six seconds on the play clock. It's going to be close. They get it away, and the ball is kicked down near the 30. Good run from the backfield from Blaze McCarty, and he stumbles forward to about the 45, 46 yard line, but he came steaming into that one. That was a good play by McCarty. coming onto the ball like that, perfectly timed, and I think he got pretty much maximum yardage out of that play. 6:04 remaining in this first half. The VI Raiders much different than their 2023 home opener, a 59-0 loss, and that was the start of a tough campaign for the Raiders. A little bit of a shell-shocking first game at home. Took the wind out of a few sails. Rumbling on the near side on the run. Owen met with a heavy tackle from the backside, but again, good run there by Liam Kroger. As Liam Kroger, with a bit of a sneak play, takes the ball to the 50-yard line, and the Sun showing some promise on the ground here. I think that's probably where they are going to want to keep it, maybe for the first attempt here. Felice Toscano on the near side, keeping an eye on number 4, but it's sent to the other side of the field, and it's caught, and he's not brought down. Running, this Nick Dielson, and he makes it into the end zone. Dielson celebrates with his mates, and they've put 6 on the board, and they've cut considerably into the VI Raiders' lead with a strike of their own, and almost very similar to the manner in which the Raiders scored their touchdown. Ruben Bonsu avoiding that first contact, rolling off, and that was very important for Dielson as he makes it into the end zone, and suddenly the sea of white and orange comes alive on the sidelines, and they're stoked up now. The Okanagan Sun right back in this one. It's 10-6. And they're hoping to make it 10-7 momentarily here. Liam Atwood. Oh, so they're going to get a delay of game call. So it looks like they'll have to back up a little bit here. Liam Atwood backing up for this kick attempt. But a few extra yards from this distance doesn't usually trouble these kickers that much. But it does complicate it a little bit more. And he puts it way up and over the NDSS fence. And there's some youngsters running around that'll go after that game ball. And a little fellow with a green hat comes away with that one, as the Okanagan Sun, they weren't going to be held off the board forever, and they've grabbed their first 7 on a great long ball caught by Nick Dielson. And so now just a field goal separating these two teams. Last 5 minutes of the half. And again, thank you for joining us at home, whether you're streaming us live on bcfctv.com or you've got us on TELUS Optic. Pretty happy with that arrangement, to be honest. Very convenient, bringing it into everyone's homes, and everyone can enjoy the BC Football Conference. And we've got another good one on display here today. Starting out of the backfield, Savion Townsend. He broke one, now he breaks 2, and he gets his way to about the 36-yard line as he made a couple extra yards there on that second effort. And Townsend with a good run. And hopefully it's something that the Raiders can build on here. Some good field position. A good run by the Raiders, and back to work on the offensive side of the football they go. Is there a chance? From the 35, there's the snap, looking for the button hook on the near side, and he finds it. That's Harmon Ahuja. And right at the 50, he's brought out of bounds And Harmon Ahuja, who, and now a flag is thrown by the near side official. As that scrum was breaking up, coming away from the sidelines, the near side official saw something he didn't like, and he pitched his flag. And we'll see what that does, and it looks like it is against the Sun. And I'm not sure if that was assessed to Jacob Bond or not, but regardless, the chains are being moved, and quite nicely for the Raiders, as now they're at the 50-yard line of the Okanagan Sun. So very quickly on the other side of center. Sadler Smith on the handoff. Giancola right down the middle, bounces off a one, but he gets wrapped up on the backside by Grayson Statham, with a little bit of an assist there from, or a lot of an assist from George Yobo, the defensive lineman, as they come together for that tackle right about the 46-yard line. So a pickup of about 4. Three in motion, 2 on the near side, but 1 cut to the middle. Giancola finds a hole, and again he just charges right up the middle. Why not? They're giving it. And this is an element of the game that I think was lacking last season, or at least maybe they didn't have quite the same tools, but Owen Giancola just, he has a size to him and a power when he runs that quite often, if it's just one tackler, it's not enough to take him down initially. They need that extra effort. There's a throw in the screenplay, and running to the outside on the left into coverage right near the 29, and a great play by Paul Romanoff once again, and he's really made this second quarter his own. Paul Romanoff, another very considerable play there, as he was in the perfect place at the right time for Sadler Smith to get rid of that ball on the screen pass. Smith, lots of heat, gets pushed in a throw. Ruben Bonsu, did he bring it in? Wow! And you're allowed to dance a little bit after that. Ruben Bonsu, oh boy. And again, lots of heat on the backside in the form of Santiago Ramirez. The defensive lineman was so close that he was able to get the shove off on the quarterback, Sadler Smith, but Smith gets away the ball, and it's accurate. And they really have moved the ball into a great position. 10-yard line. The Raiders, what an answer this would be. Able to answer that touchdown that was hauled in by the Okanagan Sun. Nick Dillson. That's been a particularly good area for receivers, that far side of the field, right around the 10-yard line. And I am thinking of the opposite side of the field that the ball is on right now, but over in that far corner be the more northeasterly side of the field, more north, as the Raiders facing more so south right now, and that's the direction they definitely want to face and punch into at the moment. Riley Bickford lining up on the near side. Play is in motion, holds, waits, it's intercepted at the goal line and brought down right around the 5, but a pick is thrown, and the Okanagan Sun come up with a big defensive play with 2:35 left in this first half, Brady Dornez, or pardon me, as Ahmed Borhat, as Borhat finds that ball right near the uprights underneath as he comes up with that football, and that's going to bring about the offensive line now for the Okanagan Sun. Boy, this game has really picked up in intensity. And again, there's Ahmed Borhat. He's got every reason to be excited as he made a big play and a big pick. Both teams coming up with some pretty solid defensive plays and stuffs and turnovers here in this first half of the game. On the redown, there was something that they didn't like, and now the Raiders knocking on the door, and I don't know exactly what the call was, and forgive me, I was trying to see what the commotion was down on the field, but there was obviously a reason why that last play was called the way that it was, and so it is indeed a Raiders possession, and very important one here with just over 2.5 minutes remaining in the half. You can't get much closer and not score than this. There's a flag on the far side, thrown downfield. It bounces off a couple of hands and incomplete off the sidelines. Now a very important call coming up here. And it took place just after the ball was snapped, or right about that time. So right now, still just 3 points between the teams in this game, but the Raiders from the 1 yard line. Sadler Smith right back around the 6 yard line. And there's something that the number 6 official is making them aware of, and now he's retreating back to his spot in the end zone. So, and it looks like the Sun are trying to make a signal to their bench. One of the players, I think that was Aaron Maseko, had both of his arms up, but now we're ready to play football again. Moving right up on the line, trying to drive it in. Sadler Smith, I don't know, did he make it through? One of the Raiders has his arms up now, 2 of them. Yes, the near side official says yes, and it's a big moment in the game. It's 16-7 Raiders, and it's touchdown territory. They're going to fire up the Lucky Logger cycle for that. Andrew Harris's club finding pay dirt, and now looking for that extra point after. Arms raised in the air in a triumphant moment there. You saw Parker Mosgrip, the Nanaimo product, second year, 225-pounder. And here's the attempt. Riker Sansbury, and that one splits the uprights. And they make good on the 10-point lead once again. The VI Raiders from the 1 yard line punching it in, and you saw Sadler Smith setting up the play. He was hanging out around the 6 yard line, and then as soon as they ushered the play in, it was a total timing thing, and it had to be done and choreographed just so, and they made it happen as he basically pounced up on the line right at the time took to hut the ball, and they shoved it in, and just barely, but they made it over the goal line, and it all counts. And it's a 17-7 lead. Under 2 minutes to go in the opening half. And whoa, what an update we got for you here from Starlight Stadium. It looks like it's I can't tell if it's a final right now, but it's a 42-11 lead for the West Shore Rebels over the Prince George Kodiaks. So the West Shore Rebels really putting on an offensive show today at Starlight Stadium. There's the catch on the kickoff. And grabbed and brought down. That's Ola Adegbite, the defensive lineman from London, England, in his second year, as he'll get credit for that tackle. As Colby Thorpe ran that ball downfield and made his way to just about the 40-yard line. Of course, the Okanagan Sun with that 22-15 win over the Langley Rams last week. Off to a 1-0-0 start. There's the fake handoff. Throws it way downfield into no man's land, and it's caught. Jordan Falconer, and he's brought down about the 24-yard line. And oh, what a throw. Stepping in, Liam Kroger let fly on that one downfield, and all of a sudden the chains are being moved way downfield. Big reception for the Sun, and they're not taking that VI Raiders touchdown lightly. Now the handoff, bouncing off of one, but he gets wrapped up, thrown to the ground. Elelion Noah, he can't go anywhere with that one, and right around the 25-yard line will bring about the next down. Important stop there for the Raiders. They're going to really want to stymie this momentum. That was a big throw and catch. Now, once again, with some time, Loads fires onto the near side, caught right around the 10-yard line and brought down somewhere near the 8. And in on the catch, Jordan Falconer once again. He's had 2 big catches, and suddenly his name is popping up and dotting around on the score sheet for receptions. Jordan Falconer. And how about the quarterbacking decision here? Liam Kroger. They've just thrown him in and letting him throw the football, and that's what he's been doing to help move this ball downfield. And the ball at the right around the 9-yard line. There's the handoff on the near side. It looks like he's going to make it in, and he does. There's a touchdown, Elelion Noah. And an immediate answer back by the Okanagan Sun with another TD of their own. And this time it's Elelion Noah running that one in after the handoff from Liam Kroger. Good speed around the outside, and a little bit of a how do you do as he throws an arm out at Savion Townsend. And after the way that Kroger's been throwing the football, you think you're not sure if he's going to go back to the throw. He gets the handoff and makes the play. And again, the Okanagan Sun make it a 3-point game. Great back and forth here, and it's actually pretty similar to the opening day contest against the Prince George Kodiaks. That Kodiaks 39-35 win. And of course, the VI Raiders would absolutely love to bring home a win here on their home opener and improve to 1-1 and place the Sun in the exact same position, putting them at 1-1 on the season. But a lot of football between now and then, just 3 points separating them. And on your screen there's Malik Ambrose, a Toronto, Ontario first-year player, 6 foot, 190 pounds. This seems to be pretty common. Oh, the ball is dropped on the return, but picked up now and run around the outside. Fakes a couple of moves, got his leg wrapped up, tried to scramble forward, but his one knee had touched the ground. And Savion Townsend gets about as much maximization out of that run as he can. Hard to go somewhere when you've got a 200-pounder wrapped around your ankle. So ball management and clock management will be pretty key here for the Raiders, as there's 78 seconds remaining in this first half. They have possession after that punt return and looking for an answer themselves to that quick strike offense, as Nick Dillison threw a touchdown up on the board for the Sun. Immediately to his left, Ruben Bonsu to the outside, and about the 35 is where he's forced out of bounds. And from the looks of things, he's going to be very well used this season. Not only can he catch the ball, but he's great with the ball after reception. And I'm sure there's a lot of clubs that would love to have a man with his talents on their roster. And the VI Raiders taking advantage of some of those features from number 88 this afternoon. A 1 field goal lead here. Sadler Smith. There's something happening here. The far side officials pointing something out. One in motion on the near side. There's a flag as Giancola has the ball. He skirted under 2 players. He's still on his feet. How? As he makes his way to the 40. Now, there was a flag on the play, but Giancola, I told you, this is an element that was just lacking somewhat for the Raiders last season, and to have a player of his size being able to take the ball, look at that lateral cut, and somehow 3 players that tried to grab him wound up on the ground without him. And finally, another 3-man committee, including Mitchell Hickingbottom, getting in on that 3-man tackle to bring him down, but he managed to get away. I don't know how, but his knees didn't touch the ground, and he skirted out from underneath, getting them to the 40. 2 in motion on both sides. He's going to run the ball around the outside, fakes the throw, and he's going to run it out about the 44, and he goes for a bit of a slide near the mid-island towing sign, but he's looking just fine. And another good run by the QB. Sadler Smith, he's got pretty good size for a quarterback and good mobility, which over the last couple of years has been a trait of the VI Raiders quarterbacks. Mobile, very ambulatory, and he's got a good arm, and that opening sequence really, I think, got him into the groove, connecting with Ruben Bonsu, and it's been a bit of a confidence builder ever since. Again, 2 in motion on the near side, but he goes to the left. Ruben Bonsu had to come back to it, and right near the 50-yard line, it goes just in front of his hands. That's incomplete. And that'll bring about a change in units for the Raiders. So the Okanagan Sun with a strong defensive couple of plays to force the Raiders into this punting situation. And with 46 seconds remaining on the clock. Riker Sansbury kicks it, lands just out of bounds around the 49-yard line, and with a smallish amount of time, the Okanagan Sun, they'll see what they can do here to round out this first half. But as we know, the last couple of minutes, not just in a half, but in the football game, can be so important. And with the right kind of clock management, it can just be one of those things that makes or breaks the outcome of a game. So on the 51, there's the throw downfield, and it finds the arms of Sam Mellinson, and he gets brought down, and they want the hurry-up offense as they hand the ball over to the ref so he can get it set. And the Raiders here having to be careful as the Okanagan Sun, with 30 seconds still remaining on the clock. Out comes Ruben Bonsu off the sidelines, and they're going to have him. He's going to switch spots near on the line, around the outside, flushing the quarterback through, and he has to dive out and reach, putting that ball down right about the 26-yard line or so. Now 19 seconds remaining. The Sun in the hurry-up offense. There's the throw through the middle, but wrapped up right away and brought down. There's the catch by Marcus Burden. But they're just trying to maximize their opportunities here, throw a couple of plays at the Raiders, and they're trying to get this scramble kind of blitz football, force that ball into the end zone. Oh, there's the snap, but he wasn't ready for it. Scrambling to the outside. Liam Kroger, and he's brought down. Ola Adegbite with a big defensive play, and that's going to help make sure that this meager 3-point lead is still preserved at the half. You see the ball going into the turf, and then the fumble as he recovered to pick up that ball. Liam Kroger, who's been so effective here in this second half, but of course not every play can be perfect, and they're unable to complete and orchestrate another 6 points on the board. And with just 7 seconds remaining, the Raiders will indubitably run this clock down and get themselves safely to halftime. And there he is to put the knee down officially, and Sadler Smith will bring about an end to this first half. $17 for the Raiders, 14 for the Sun, and a couple of notable names in that first quarter. Ruben Bonsu hooking up with Sadler Smith, and it's been great back and forth football, though. Both quarterbacks having answers, finding men downfield there. Marcus Burden with a good reception there, connecting with Liam Kroger. Merrick Philippek throwing that ball early in the first quarter, dropping it right perfectly in where it needed to be for Marcus Burden. So Burden, another big half of football for him as he's put some yards up on the boards. And once more, there's that right arm of Sadler Smith looking downfield, and an amazing catch by Paul Romanoff. Romanoff, who really made the second quarter his own, and right there on the quarterback sneak, just managing to force and shove their quarterback in across the line. The VI Raiders with a 3-point lead going into halftime. Don't you dare go away. We've got lots of great football coming up. The 9-2-0 Suns from the 2023 season. They're in a tight one here against the Raiders. They're 0-1, but the Raiders looking to improve to 1-1 on the season. We've got more BCFC football coming up after this.
the team is ingrained in the community here, and it's something that, you know, being part of Vancouver Island Drives and Vancouver Island Raiders, we felt like was a perfect fit. We want to support local teams, local businesses, and we feel like these are the guys to get it done this year. So we're super excited to get involved with the team. So let's go, boys. Let's fire it up. Woo!
All right, Micah's Transport, start driving. There's going to be 5 balls picked from the back after he gets around. 5 winners, and I'll announce what the prizes are at the end. Go ahead.
Okay, everybody, let's have a great show. Jesse's gonna throw, look out, Karen Bassad, got it.
There from full pickup, who will pass it there to Jesse King, who scores again!
At West Shore Motorsports Park.
Cross in the box for Parmar, and she's done it!
And welcome back to NDSS, the site of this contest here. Okanagan Sun currently down a field goal, a 17-14 lead being held by the VI Raiders. And the Raiders making for a lot of excitement and noise on the field as they bring it in for their huddle. The Okanagan Sun already into theirs, awaiting this second half. And the Raiders sporting a slim 3-point lead in this very closely contested contest here. I was thinking to the scoring plays in the game against the Kodiaks in the home opener for both. And it seemed like the second quarter was very important for the VI Raiders, much like it was here this evening. But it was the first quarter, there was a bit of a sluggish start in Prince George. And I think that was ultimately that little bit of a sluggish start. Not able to put any points on the board in the first quarter was the difference there in the opening week. But now these same Raiders, they made good and had a 10-0 lead at one point in the first quarter. So a big change. It's always such a position of power to have a lead on the scoreboard, and definitely foreign territory for a team that went 0-10 last season. But you're already seeing the improvements and the likes of some of the young men on your screen there. Marcus Harvey, number 26. Garrett Miller, number 32, and there's some of the rest of the crew and some of the training staff. And some of the ambient sounds you're hearing too, there's an adjacent field, which is the home of the Nanaimo Night Owls Junior Baseball Club. So quite a little mecca of activity here between this game happening here, NDSS, Okanagan Sun, not quite ready with their personnel yet, but they'll take to the field now. Number 27, Kaya Saunders, and number 83, Kyle Kearns. Kearns, a first-year Nanaimo player. Like I said, the referee crew seems pretty tight-knit, and they look loose, ready to go. Smiles all around, and that always makes for a good football game, where upon they let the players settle things on the field one way or the other. And we've got a great second half of football laid out before us here. Just 3 points between the two, and the Sun will receive the ball on this kickoff to start the third quarter. And that's kicked nicely downfield. Bodies flying everywhere, but most importantly, there's a lot of celebration happening from Luke Dawson, and another strong defensive play. Dawson and Marcus Harvey teaming up to make that tackle on a very short run for the Okanagan Sun. And that leaves the ball just about the 32-yard line, which is where the Sun will pick this one up from, as their center, Grayson Statham, settles in. Ready to deliver here to Merrick Philippek. On the handoff, running around to the outside, Alelion Noah, one of the leading running backs so far this season. And actually, pardon me, in that one there, they handed off to Tristan Petal, who also owns a number of yards up on the record books right now. You see with that motion on the far side on the little toss. And getting just near the out of bounds line, Tristan Petal into the pocket, loading, firing down the middle, and it's caught. That's Sam Mellinson once again, and that's his third catch of the game, and it's a significant one, as he had broke away from his coverage. But but he had to get right into the dirt to catch that one and to keep it away from Kaya Saunders, who was speedily catching up to him as he put himself into the turf to make that catch right at the 50-yard line. First down, handoff, trying to go up the middle, but it's plugged and he won't quite make the center line on that drive, so it looks like a pickup of maybe 4 yards on that one. Once again, Tristan Petal with more solid work running that ball, and between him and Alelion Noah, they've got some pretty significant weapons on both sides that have different styles. You see there, Alelion Noah really likes to head to the outside. There's a throw, the outside, wrapped up, and the first one on the scene, getting in on the tackle, Caleb Charlton, grabbing him right around the 50-yard line, and he started the downhill slide. Brevin Arnell, also some good work there as he gets off to the sideline. Brevin Arnell, 6'5", 255-pounder in his third year, and that's going to force about a kick here. And awaiting it downfield is Savion Townsend. Townsend is going to have to watch it bounce in the turf. On the roll, he picked it up, and he just got over. Oh, and he's hit heavy on the sidelines. But good coverage there by the Sun, who made sure he didn't squeak out along the sideline, and a solid hit brings that one down. Right in front of the bench area for the VI Raiders. And so the ball placed about the 33-yard line, and that's, interestingly, it was a 32-yard line on the opposing run back for the Okanagan Sun. So identical territory. Here's a throw to the Harmon Ahuja off his fingers, and he's lucky that it didn't fly just a little bit lower off of the tip. He had a couple of orange and white jerseys around him. Liam Kroger was sniffing around there. This is a hard ball, but Ahuja, not the tallest player. He jumped up to try and get it, but at least he kept it away from Kenley Williams, who you saw on the near side of your screen there. Kenley Williams lining up on the near side. And it looks like he's going to be marking Paul Romanoff on this ensuing snap. Sadler Smith into the pocket, gets it away, but it's a wobbly ball, and it's 5 or 6 yards from anyone. I think it might have been tipped on the way. It looked like the ball came up a little bit short, and there might have been a little bit of contact there, but that's going to bring about a change of personnel on the field, and just as quickly the VI Raiders are going to be sending the ball back downfield. There's Ruben Bonsu, and they still cling to this 3-point lead. Third down. Silas Gardner awaiting this snap, and he receives it, giving it the boot with his left foot. Oh, and it bounces off of the foot of Jordan Falconer, who's had some great runs here today. He just couldn't quite reel that one in, but no harm, no foul, as the ball just rolls out of bounds off of that little bobble. And the Okanagan Sun working from the 43, their own 43. Into the huddle they go. Merrick Philippek, one in motion to his left, and he dumps it over the middle, but immediately met and then pushed back the other way by a committee of 3 Raiders, including, as we mentioned, Brevin Arnell. He was in there. And same with Ola Adigbite, and he gets probably credit on that tackle. I think he was the closest one there, first one to wrap him up. Look on the outside of Tej Madan, the outside linebacker of the Okanagan Sun. Second down, there's flags all over the field and hands pointing both ways, but it looks like it's assessed against the Sun. And the officials having a little meeting here. But they... Well, I guess it is going against the VI Raiders. And this back and forth battle continues between these two teams. And the ball placed at the 50. Now in motion is Tyler Curver. There's the handoff. Jordan Falconer stops up, and he's met by 4 or 5 dark jerseys. And I think the first one to get a significant touch was Caleb Charlton, as he just ran into a big pack. Elelion Noah. Not too many places to go, but he still made 5 yards out of that one. And so it was an offside call earlier that led to the penalty, so it was offside against the Raiders. So after all of the hand pointing, that's how it laid out. There's the fake. Kroger throws down the middle, a hand on it, oh, but it was still caught by Jordan Falconer, and then he's brought down. But the ball went up in the air, and there was a significant moment of time where that was a free ball for almost anyone that was in the vicinity. But again, Jordan Falconer making good on that tip, and he was Johnny on the spot. Good pressure there. And he was looking downfield for Sam Melanson, who's made a number of catches today. But again, Jordan Falconer grabbing that ball, and he's helping move the chains. It's a significant drive here for the Okanagan Sun. There's the fake through the screen. Kroger's going to hang on, and he's just going to plow forward for maybe a couple of yards. Liam Kroger ran out of options there, so he just decided to plunge forward, get what he could out of that exchange, and that'll bring about second down. Just over 9 minutes to go here, third quarter. Slim 3-point lead for the VI Raiders. They were up 10-0 at one point in the first. The Okanagan Sun, Kroger, he's going to hang on to it. He rumbles through, and he rolled off of Colton Finstad and made his way to about the 28-yard line. So the Sun are continuing to just drive this ball forward. They're trying to get Gavin Taylor out quickly, the defensive lineman, and Ruben Bonsu heading off field. And I think now they've charged a timeout against the VI Raiders. A little bit of a hydration break here for some of the Raiders. They hadn't quite gotten all of their personnel sorted there, so probably if they did call their timeout, I want to say that they did. I'm just double checking on the signal that was sent by the referee. But back to football we go. Everything all settled up here. The Sun at the 28. A little bit of motion. They're trying to draw him offside, but everyone's still onside just for the moment. They were trying to get Jake Smith into an offside position. 3 on the time clock. Now 0. Are they going to time count? I don't know. Their play has been delivered, but their whistles all over the place. They didn't get it in time. I don't think they got the ball snapped in time. Yeah, and it is a delay of game against the Okanagan Sun. I was watching the clock on the board. Now the funny thing is that sometimes the seconds on the at the south end of the field, they kind of stutter, so it went from 3 to 0 after a little bit of a clunky delay. So there's a look at Jacob Soldier, number 69 for the Okanagan Sun. And a few congratulations as the VI Raiders decide which unit they want out on the field here. Looked like initially Carson Corbett Smith and company for the O-line were going to be out there, but looks like Declan Robbins is going to remain out there. Carson Danchek and Brett Cheppel. And you saw Luca Bordages in the background there for the VI Raiders. Time clock once again a factor, down to 1, but they snap it just in time. Fans applauding that. Thrown downfield and it's caught. And just barely in time, Jordan Falconer comes to the rescue once again. And I wonder if there was any argument whether the ball hit the dirt. I don't think at this point that that's a conversation, but let's have a look at instant replay. And it is an incomplete ball. And a big turn of events here on the field. As you saw on the replay, he turned downwards towards the dirt very quickly, and I don't know that Falconer had complete control of that ball as he hit the ground. And now the ball spotted at about the 38-yard line here. So a 10-yard penalty. And the Okanagan Sun a little bit further from where they want to be, and the ball was hiked a lot further than they would have liked. They have to scramble back. Now he's going to punt it away. Good scramble mode there by the Okanagan Sun. Now met in the backfield. There's a hit. Rolling off 1 and then 2. Oh, that was a good job by Savion Townsend to avoid that first little clip there, and he got his right knee over top of the tackler and still grabbed about another 1.5 yards, 2 yards. And so scrambly play as the Okanagan Sun snapped that ball too far for the kicker, and Liam Atwood and Grady Hay have had a couple of small adventures today. Grady Hay doing a good job scrambling and then taking the right boot to it. And the end result is right near the 40-yard line. In motion, a couple. There's the handoff. Ruben Bonsu finds room. A nice little dart through the middle and now to the outside on the right. Shakes and bakes to the 50. Ruben Bonsu, look at that nice little flip pass, and the motion off to the quarterback's left, that kind of helps sell it and give him just that little bit extra room. And Ruben Bonsu, he wants the fans into this one, and he's got it. Great run by Ruben Bonsu, and the ball now at the 49. Pointing downfield, Jake Giacchis wants to make sure his mates know something's up. Straight ahead. Fake handoff, thrown into the dirt and just couldn't reach it there. Paul Romanoff, as that ball had to get away in a hurry. Sadler Smith tried to dump it just over top of the coverage. And Romanoff will get back up, and they'll try this one again. A second down, and an important down it is for the Raiders at the 49. Can they advance this ball a little further? On the near side, Ruben Bonsu lines up, and he's being shadowed there by David Lewis. Motion over to the right, but he's looking all the way. Oh, and the ball is there. Just a momentary brain freeze, and Ruben Bonsu has it sail through his fingers. Oh, and Bonsu had made a move, and he was separated from his coverage, but it just sails through his fingertips. The ball actually was kind of it was kind of pointed downwards a bit. It's hard to explain, but the ball was tilted down a little bit, and that might have been just enough to change up the dynamic there for Ruben Bonsu, who's having a whale of a game for the Raiders, but boy, he would have loved to have brought that one in. He had managed to break away from his coverage. But now they're going to have to boot the ball. And that one's kicked to the near side of the field, hits the turf, takes a bounce, and it's going to roll out about the 28-yard line. And I think for both parties involved, they'll be happy enough with that result. Around the 28, that's where the Okanagan Sun will take over. And again, no points up on the board yet this quarter. And we've played just about 9 minutes in this third quarter. As the sun starts to dip down a little bit behind Mount Benson behind us. From your perspective on the field, it's basically over to the northwest. More north than west, I guess you would say. But the light's starting to come on. There's a little bit of a slip on the pitch there, Elelian Noah, and he gets driven back for that little slip. And it's going to be, again, right near the line of scrimmage. Maybe a little closer to the 30, so about 1.5 yards on that one. And there's a good shot of a couple of the Okanagan Sun players. Mike Astone, number 51, and number 64, Joseph Kraus, the offensive lineman. There's the snap. Kroger rolls, throws, and that one's through fingertips as well. And that's goes out of bounds, incomplete around the 40-yard line. And again, the teams will swap roles and possession after a kick away here by the Okanagan Sun. Good job by the VI Raiders. Good coverage on that last throw to make sure that they just weren't able to put it into the hands of the receiver on the far side of the field. Grady Hay awaiting this snap, but I think they were trying to figure out whether they needed a hydration break or not. I think one of the Raiders up at the line there wanted one, but I could be reading Jordan Umankunzi's body language wrong. You might have noticed him on your screen there. He's got that red bandana underneath his helmet, number 85, lining up. And also a look at Matthew DiMatteo, the first-year Toronto, Ontario native, 5'10", 175 pounds, for this special teams coverage here. It looks like they want Elelion Noah out on the field, and they've trotted him out there now. You can see him lining up to help protect Grady Hay as he goes to kick this one away. This snap is good, and the ball tumbles lightly end over end and out near the 42-yard line. So Matthew DiMatteo and crew, they're going to head off. Same with Malik Ambrose. And they'll bring out the big 50s here. This line, a good cohesive unit, and they've done a good job protecting not only their quarterback this evening, but also their running backs, opening up a few good holes here tonight. Another close game here for the Raiders. 5 minutes to go, third quarter. 3 points separating them. 2 in motion on the near side. They're going to run it, though. Giancarlo, and he stumbles through to about the 48, maybe 49-yard line. Looks like a pickup of maybe a couple. Second down now for the Raiders. Good view of Oscar DeVos, and he had a big play in the second quarter. Sadler Smith. That double coverage helping funnel them out, but he's going to have to back away and just duck down and accept his fate. As right on top of him, Santiago Ramirez got in super quick and broke around the coverage, and he got a little bit of help from Will Lowe. So good defensive coverage. Look at that. Just by committee, orange and white bodies flying all over the pile. And now it looks like it'll be time for Silas Gardner to get this one up and away. The first-year Leduc, Alberta product. Oh, and that's a poor kick as it went off the side of his foot, and I think he was trying to angle it out further downfield, but I don't even think he made midfield with that one. And there's a Raider down on the field in some discomfort, and maybe get you who that is in a moment. Oh, yes, that's Luke Dawson, and that's unfortunate. Yeah, Luke Dawson in all sorts of discomfort there. And it looked initially, and it looked like it happened just after the punt got away. And they'll take his helmet off and get him some air there. But he's really struggling there, and a couple of his mates are going to take a knee and try and help him up off the field. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe... Oh yeah, that left leg it's not walking very well right now. He's almost like tiptoeing on it, and hopefully he's able to get back to at least some semblance of normal. But for right now, he's needing help off the field, and that's unfortunate news for Luke Dawson and the rest of his mates from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Dawson, but now the Sun to the outside. Oh, that yard after reception. Marcus Burden somehow just finding extra room as he helps push through and getting a tag team there from Nick Daleson, who, as you know, had that touchdown earlier. Burden gets slowed up, and then the ball pops loose. But right there, look at that discovery by Nick Daleson, and he can not only can he catch balls for touchdowns, but he can help you recover important fumbles. There's the handoff, and Noah not going anywhere as Alelion Noah was hoping to dart to the inside, and he was met by a sea of black. Declan Robbins got right in his road there. Robbins from North Battleford, Saskatchewan, in his third year, 6'3", 235. He's got good size. 2 in motion on the left, and he's going to throw there over the middle, and he found a receiver, and again into the arms of Sam Melanson. And Melanson really factoring in here in these last 2 quarters. And the ball moved significantly downfield now. at the 16 of the VI Raiders. And he was wrapped up at the end of it all by Nate Haliuk, but not before a lot of yards. There's the fake, the throw to the outside, and it's well over the head. And Felice Toscano, he threw up his arms in protest that he didn't interfere with the throw, but I think that they're going to, they might be penalized here for that. As the flag hit the field right near that corner route, right over by the orange goal pylon there. And so now with just over a minute remaining in the third quarter, the Sun with an opportunity here to potentially take the lead for the first time in the game. Running it in. Oh, and we've got us. Yes, they did break the plane. And the Okanagan Sun with the touchdown. They run that one in, and indeed they do take the lead for the first time today. There's an exuberant Jordan Falconer, and he's been called upon a lot here, especially. Oh, look at that nice little juke there. And pardon me, that'll go to Alelion Noah. And it looked like for a minute there Falconer was going to be the intended target. Now they'll try and collect this point after. And it's up and through. And now it's a 4-point game. The Okanagan Sun with their first lead. And it comes here with just a minute to go. Just under here in the third quarter. And a very entertaining Saturday afternoon game at Nanaimo District Secondary School as the clock continues to tick here on the third quarter, and a 21-17 lead for the Okanagan Sun, their first of the game. At one point in the first quarter, the VI Raiders held a 10-0 lead, but now 3 converted touchdowns later for the Suns. And it's a 4-point game, 4-point lead for the Sun. But they are kicking the ball away to the Raiders. And the Raiders could really use some offensive prowess now. Giancarlo finds the ball, running, breaks one tackle, somehow got over to the left, and now he's brought down. They'll try and strip the ball, but nothing doing as he brings it down to the 35. Owen Giancarlo, or Acola, pardon me. Good run. He's a first-year player, but look at that drive and dedication. And it wasn't until they had a hold of both of his knees that he actually went down. And I think that was Ovi Bazunu that got the credit for the tackle there. Raiders with the ball. Sadler Smith fakes the handoff. He's going to run to the outside himself, and he gets pushed out of bounds. He might have got a yard on that run, but he does escape and stop the clock. Raiders at their own 35. A player to the left and right of Sadler Smith, and again they move up into the pocket to provide coverage. There's the throw on the far side, and that's caught and brought in. And that's a good catch there for Blaze McCarty. Nobody immediately around to challenge him on that catch. So he made sure, and he took it. And moves the ball. With the 44. There's the snap. There was movement. Now there's a flag on the field. Thrown and it's caught. Big catch for Paul Romanoff, and he's having a whale of a game. Paul Romanoff reels it in. Time running down at the end of the third quarter. Is there one more play in the quarter? So it is a first down. And some important momentum here for the VI Raiders after conceding an early lead in this game. But it's not by a lot. And the ball's at the 44 of the Okanagan Sun. Although are they going to be relocating the ball here? I'm not certain. The referees are... okay, so we are at the end of the quarter. I wasn't sure if they were going to... it looked like there was maybe 1 or 2 seconds that they could potentially have stopped the clock at. But they will reroute and repolarize the field here. And the ball taken to the 44. Once again, it will be the Okanagan Suns 44. And the VI Raiders pointed south. And they would love nothing more than to get this one back into the end zone and reestablish a lead. Sadler-Smith throws on the right side, and no one's going to be able to touch that one. And Paul Romanoff was pointing that maybe he was interfered with as he goes and collects the ball for the officials. And we'll have to see what they do here. As Paul Romanoff, he's had such a big quarter already. And imagine a couple extra catches, how much that could truly benefit the boys in black and red. And they do move the ball downfield, so Paul Romanoff continuing to do good things on the field. And now they're inside the 30. Raiders going to work. Beginning of the fourth quarter. 2 in motion on the near side, then the stop up. That's where the eyes are going of Sadler-Smith. Throws to the outside. Harmon Ahuja caught that, and it's inbounds. That's an inbound catch, and Harmon Ahuja reeling that one in. The Nanaimo BC product. He might be only 5'8", 150, but those are the kinds of things he does down on the turf. And he reels that one in. Big play. Oh, I guess they're just checking to see, make sure what a well-thrown ball, and Ahuja made sure his feet were planted inbounds, and that's a good catch and good field position now. From the 19, into the pocket, he's looking deep down to the left, up in the air, oh, and it bounced off both players, it's incomplete. Ruben Bonsu was looking around to see if there was potentially a call to be had there, as he felt maybe he got wrapped up at the moment he was trying to catch the ball. Only his left hand able to touch it, but he was step for step with David Lewis, and Lewis has been one of the best players on the field all game long here for the Okanagan Sun, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. Oh, and there is a call on the play as they move the ball downfield 5 yards. And now into definite scoring territory inside the 10. And I'll get back to you in a moment here with the call. It was illegal interference, and now, scrambling and losing yards as the Okanagan Sun defense comes to life and they force the VI Raiders' Ruben Bonsu back. And they're going to have to make up a few extra yards there. But it's second down now. Solid coverage. Marcus Burden has also been all over the field here today for the white and orange. Important down for the Raiders. 2 in motion on the right side. That's where the ball is going. It's down the middle and it's caught. Touchdown Raiders. Paul Romanoff. He's going to let that ball spin. Paul Romanoff reestablishes the lead as the VI Raiders get back into this one and back on top. Look at how well that ball traveled. And you thought maybe it was coming over to the near right side, but instead it was a little more over the middle. Well disguised play and right underneath the uprights. No one around to touch. There's the set, and it's up and through. And the VI Raiders back in front. Back to that 1 field goal lead here in the fourth quarter. But still plenty of time left on the clock here. Lots of football remaining. But the VI Raiders showing that they're moving step for step this game with the opposition. And the Okanagan Sun, every time that they make a retaliatory point set on the board, it seems like the Raiders come up with a big defensive play. And they're going to have to keep doing that as they're going to be sending the ball downfield. So Sterling Henry to kick this ball off, the 4th-year player for the VI Raiders. And it's a pretty solid punt. Caught in the backfield and now turned upfield by Colby Thorpe. And he's brought down right around the 35. And the VI Raiders happy with that result. And so much camaraderie on the part of the Raiders right now. I can only remember a couple of games last season where the bench was this alive and this active. And, not to take anything away from last year's cast, but there's just a new kind of energy on the field, and it's palpable. And the fans are really enjoying this one here. It doesn't get too much closer. Here's the run. Caught, and a double hit there to bring down Tristan Petal. Petal with another carry. He had an important one in the third. And this one gets him to about the 45-yard line of the Okanagan Sun territory. So, see on the replay, Tristan Pendle. Just a quick little route. And good coverage on the backside by Jake Smith, who had an awesome defensive year last year, the 4th-year product. Up through the middle. Can he find a hole? Tristan Petal again, but this time he's swallowed up and wrapped up, brought to the ground. And another good job by... Oh, but there is a man down on the field. And that's Xavier Inchko. Insko rolling around in discomfort. He's holding his face mask there. And he's going to be seen by the trainer. Javier Insko helped to his feet, and he's a little slow to get off, but he's going to get some help from his mates. And I think it might be something to do with his right foot. I'm not 100% certain, but Sean Kakakaway helping him get off the field. From Kisikoos, FN Saskatchewan, the first-year player, Kakaway, 6'3", 340 pounds. That is something. Big boy. Fake handoff from Kroger, sends it to his right. The catch is made. Couple of moves at the 50, getting it up to about the 53. And the Sun getting a little momentum going of their own here on that little catch play. As Ty Walker makes the reception, and it's a nice little sell there on the handoff action. Good throw right around the 50-yard line. And he did make one move on the defense. Denzel Igahan. There's the handoff. It's fumbled, and the quarterback manages to scramble. Kroger gets back on top of it in a hurry. Cat-like reflexes there to make sure that he retains possession of the ball. Scary times for the Sun, though. That one squeaked out. On the handoff, Tristan Peddle had it underneath his right arm just for a moment, and then it fell right out again. And he turned around to see that the ball was on the ground, but a good job. Play underway. Kroger, long throw downfield, and it was caught. And it's a reception for the Sun. Good catch by Jordan Falconer, and another big play by number 4 as he reels that one in, and now the Okanagan Sun looks like about the 27-yard line is where they'll go to work from. He tried to scramble forward as he got tackled. But again, that catch was there, and it was that nice delay by Liam Kroger to get him a little extra moment there for his receiver, Falconer, to get into the open. Now they're going to run this one on the inside. Elelon Noah, and he gets down to about the 15. As the Okanagan Sun are really stringing some plays together here, and they're making it difficult for the defensive coordinator from the Raiders to react. They're throwing the ball, then they're running it. That's probably one of Elelon Noah's best runs so far tonight. Did you see the speed as he cut around the outside? Hard to catch that kind of a speeding train. Kroger fakes the handoff to Noah, but then he slips as he tries to move forward, and he's down about the 11-yard line. And I think he's looking for direction from the bench. Liam Kroger is. Important times here. 3-point difference. I think on our scoreboard there it looks like it's showing 2, but I believe that the official score is 24-21. We've got just under 9 to go. They'll fakes the throw, chopped up around the 10, and he goes down, and I think that's going to bring about the punting unit. They're going to have to go for the field goal to try and tie things up here, I believe. At least that looks like the call. And actually, I just saw the one official make the signal. Just a second, I'm just grabbing that here. Never really fully appreciated the complexity of the Canadian rule system. We'll get back to that in a moment. Teeing this one up, Liam Atwood. Is it good? I think so, just inside. It is good for the field goal, and we're all tied. We're notched up at 24s with 8 minutes to go, fourth quarter, and hang on to your hats. We're in for a bit of a finish here as the Okanagan Sun add another layer of intrigue to this contest today. Putting another 3 points up on the board. Okay, so that previous call was illegally downfield on a kick. So that call that was made is someone was illegally downfield on the kick. But regardless, where we're headed now is we're in tie game territory. And it'll be the VI Raiders that should be receiving the ball here. And see what they can put together here as this game continues to wind down. And there's a look at Grayson Statham having a word with Paul Mario Ninamani, the defensive back. And Travis Miller, he's got his team, same with Mike Wolthuizen, the offensive coordinator, and Shane Beatty. They've had a good game out of their club today, but there's lots more to be determined here. The handoff, Giancarlo finding room, and look at him just fight his way up to about the 42 as he shakes off the white and orange defenders like a dog trying to take a bone back to his bed. Just shaking him off with ferocity, and he just wouldn't be held back. And another good run by Owen Giancola. Look at him just brush off that first hit and having to reach around a second time. Vincent Ferreira just doing everything possible to try and contain him. That's interesting. Number 24 carrying the ball. We're tied at 24s. One hard in motion on the stop up. Near side pass. The grab, duck and cover, and that one's brought in. Silas Gardner making the catch. First and 10 from the 47-yard line of the Raiders. Sadler Smith, two in motion on his right. He's going to go there again. Harmon Ahuja, oh, he fell as he tried to get traction and turn. Slides in the turf, and maybe a yard on the play for Harmon Ahuja. I don't know how much more he could have realistically gotten after the catch, maybe an extra yard or two. You could see his left leg just kind of slide out from under him as he went to go pivot hard. Harmon Ahuja with the reception, though. And there's a flag on the play, and I think this might be going against the Raiders. They're pointing out Ahuja might have made a movement here on the offside. We'll find out for certain, but I think that will be the call immediately. Vincent Ferreira was pointing at Harmon Ahuja from the sideline, and now the ball spotted at the 43. VI Raiders really could handle a good size play here, maybe a reception, maybe a big run. But advancing the ball, Ruben Bonsu fakes the handoff, but they're going downfield looking for it. There's no way that ball was going to get caught, and the flag is thrown on the field as Paul Romanoff was looking around for that call. He knew that something had happened there. He just couldn't quite get to the ball the way he wanted to, and we'll have to have a second look at it. But again, Romanoff making a case for one of the best players on the field today. He's just been so important, and he's been drawing penalties. He's been making catches. He's ran the ball. Yes, he's had one or two go off the shoulder. But now the ball placed at the 53-yard line, this time of the Okanagan Sun. On the near side, getting set up, Romanoff. They're onside. Now the quarterback sneak, away he goes, and he launches forward, diving forward to within a yard and a half, maybe 2 yards of the first down. And Sadler Smith with the old sneak. And he moves the ball downfield. Important field position gain there by Sadler Smith. Oh, and it looks like the Okanagan Sun are, they want to change up their, or how, I don't know if this will be, this might just be a beverage break here, a rehydration break. All sorts of drama in this one. Nothing concluded yet. 24 apiece. And as I mentioned, there has been one lead in the game, and that was a relatively brief one by the Okanagan Sun, as they led by a 4-point margin. But for the touchdown scored by Paul Romanoff, little over 5 minutes to go, fourth quarter. And you know how these fourth quarters, how the clock can sometimes seemingly take forever at moments. But I assure you, it's very important downs here that we're in. Play is live. Sadler Smith throws. It's a jump ball, and it was just lost at the last second. It was nearly turned over. The interception very close at hand there. And a great effort by Kenley Williams, the defensive back, nearly picked that one off. He was at the top of the ladder when he got his fingertips on it. It looked like the throw was just a little bit rushed and a little bit Hail Mary, but good presence of mind there by Paul Romanoff. He knew he wasn't going to catch the ball, but he had to make sure if it was intercepted that he brought his man down. Sadler Smith on the near side. He's got Silas Gardner, who's in motion now. Romanoff cuts in front of him. Throws over the screen, but he was immediately met by Paul Mario Ninamani. Ninamani, wow, what a great read on that play. That ball was no sooner thrown, and he had his arms around the receiver. There's the fake to Giancola, and as I mentioned, as soon as his foot touched the 40-yard line and the ball, he was caught by Paul Mario Ninamani, the defensive back. A good play there. From the 40. Throw, Sadler Smith overthrown, and the intended target was Ruben Bonsu, and hands up in the air, Ahmed Borhat. I don't know exactly what he was signaling, but it does look like the Raiders are going to have to kick this ball away now. Not able to connect with Ruben Bonsu, and now just over 4 minutes remaining, fourth quarter. Tied football game. Doesn't matter how you're here, if you're here in person, out in the stands, or bcfctv.com. Telus Optic, thank you so much for joining us here today for a little bit of a nail biter, 24 apiece as they get it back. Punted away. Silas Gardner angling it over to the left side of the field, and that one goes out of bounds. And that's deep in Okanagan Sun territory. That's where they'll start things off here, as we start to get a little bit clearer idea of what this scoreline is going to look like post-game. It's a tight one. Looks like the ball will be marked at the 11 or 12-yard line, pardon me, for the Okanagan Sun. On the near side of the field, Kaya Saunders. And that's Denzel Igahan. Play underway, throw downfield. Oh, and that one was overthrown. And both players, I think, kind of knew it right away, but of course the intended receiver was Ty Walker. And Walker might actually pop off here in favor of another receiver, since he was close to the proper area. Important defensive down here for the VI Raiders. Uman Kunze up on the front line. The ball's delivered over to the right. It's in the turf, and that one's incomplete. And the fans come alive on that forced play. And again, I think they had designs on getting it over to Nick Dielson, who's already got a touchdown and a couple of important receptions in this game. And you could see that the hand went up in the vicinity. That might have actually obscured his view just a little bit. Andrew Mattis out there. He was on your screen. Number 42, Malik Ambrose as well. On this special teams coverage, the ball goes back and it's punted away. And it sails down to the center line. Rolling off a couple of tackles and making maybe 4 yards in the process. Savion Townsend gets up, gets a little bit of help. Just under 3 minutes to go, 24 a pop. Okanagan Sun on the defensive side of the ball right now. Now I notice there's flags all over the field, and just awaiting the outcome of the ball placement. Oh, so a significant penalty levied against the VI Raiders, and that has them all the way back to the 33-yard line. And that's where the chains will have to start moving from as they have possession. But the important thing is they have possession. First down for the VI Raiders. Tied ball game. Harmon Ahuja on the near side. Ruben Bonsu on the far side. And Giancola set in motion around the quarterback's outside, and is that a fumble? Yes, it is, and it's recovered as he thought about throwing the football, and it rolls off the end of his hand. And what an unfortunate turnover for the VI Raiders right after receiving that heavy penalty. He goes to throw, and as he's being brought down, the ball rolls off the end of his palm. And what a powerful play there by Dylan Remillard, who came in and just shoved one of the Raiders out of the way to make sure that they recovered the ball. And Johnny on the spot, Mitchell Hickingbottom, recovers that football. And now the Okanagan Sun threatening at the 20. There's the handoff. And Leilon Noah just continues to move the ball forward as the running back slices up a few more yards here. Oh, what running he's done today for this club. Leilon Noah, he's just got that kind of frame where he can find the little bit smaller holes, but he still has the power to work through them and sometimes a little bit around them. Heavy danger now for the Raiders. There's the handoff. Noah has it, and he squeaks through into the end zone. Touchdown, Sun. So after a big penalty moving deep into Raider territory. They fumble the ball at a significant point in the game. And Alelion Noah putting a big stamp on the game as they pound it through the uprights. And they're good for the lead. A 7-point lead, so somewhere in these final 2.25 minutes, the VI Raiders have got to find a converted touchdown to get back on even footing and potentially take this game. Great recovery by Mitchell Hickingbottom to get the Okanagan Sun into prime real estate area. Grady Hay will kick this one in. Seven-point difference, and the Okanagan Sun have a late lead here. Can they defend it? Ball spinning hard end over end. Giancola in the backfield, powering through. It almost looked like he got clotheslined there as he makes his way sliding up to the 35. And quickly now the Raiders mustering their offensive line together. Watching the replay there, Giancola did very well to even stay on his feet after that first contact and slide. And now Sadler, Smith, and company charged with a bit of a big task here and to try and find points late in the game. Harmon Ahuja wide out left, but he's looking to the near side. Thrown, caught. And the initial part of the reception is marked down. Blaze McCarty making it to about the 39-yard line. Looking for 5 yards here to keep the drive going. He's going to run it himself. Sadler Smith. Now he throws, and it's caught. And the reception made by Silas Gardner, and the Okanagan Sun arguing that the quarterback was over the line of scrimmage when he threw the ball. That's what they're discussing now, but I think he knew exactly where he needed to be to release that ball. We can have another look here as Sadler Smith gets away from coverage, but then he breaks out to his right and then releases the ball. You could see his legs fighting to curl back just a little bit as he releases the ball. But regardless, the ball is being moved back into VI Raiders territory. Right about the 29-yard line is where it's marked off at. 1:44, time becoming absolutely crucial now for the VI Raiders. The Okanagan Sun, they can basically see it as keep them off the board here from a major, and they can wrap this one up on the road. Lining up at center, Aaron Maseko. And now they charge in. There goes Sadler around the outside, and he runs, slides, and he dives down about the 39. Sadler Smith, maybe only one inside option where he could have thrown, and so he wisely ducks down and takes only a part of the brunt of the hit from Jacob Bond, who finishes that tackle off. 1:37 is what the clock says. Big moments now for the Raiders. Sadler-Smith looks to Harmon Ahuja, and it's just off of his arm, but more importantly, incomplete. As in to meet that ball quickly was Easton Fenske. Fenske getting his hand in there, and now the Raiders will have to concede the ball. Great work from Penske coming in off of the right side and getting his hand in the road. And Harmon Ahuja just never had a clean attempt at collecting that ball. Coverage all over him at that point. And the Okanagan Sun now with 78 seconds to go on the clock. Quarterback slips on that one and he gets touched, and that will only tick a couple of seconds off the clock as Kroger lost his footing there. That's happened a couple of times today for players out there, and I don't know that it's necessarily anything significant out there, but there's been a couple of traction woes as they try and change direction particularly. Ball at the 41 of the Raiders. A minute 12 left on the clock. Elelion Noah nowhere to go. He's wrapped up and he's tackled by committee. But the first one in there was Jake Smith, and Jake Smith continues right where he left off from last season as a very savvy lineman that just, he's very hard to shake, and he reads the play with the best of them. And he's inside there to wrap up the legs of Elelion Noah. And they might get one more crack at the football here. It could be a little bit of Hail Mary in the forecast for the VI Raiders, but still a little bit to go before then. But the way the clock is shaping up right now, it could potentially be a one drive to survive situation for the Raiders. They were tied at 24, but Elelion Noah with another good run, but it was that killer infraction by the VI Raiders that really put that ball into a position where the Okanagan Sun could take advantage. And they did just that. They worked their way towards the goal line, and then it went. And that's the difference now, 7 points. Special teams off and on the field here. Is there any more drama remaining in this contest between the Sun and the VI Raiders? Under a minute to go on the clock. But the Okanagan crowd getting into this one now. Is this play about to get underway? And it's punted away high and hard right down to the goal line. And it's collected in the backfield. The run is on. But he runs into a whole bunch of white jerseys, and there's going to be a lot of distance to make up in a short period of time. But that's the body of work that lays in front of the Raiders here. As the ball carrier, Savion Townsend, is helped up. And that'll bring about the offensive line for the Raiders. Do or die territory now. And they've got to keep the ball. They've got to maintain possession, but they've also got to move it downfield to get into a position here where So one thing to look for will be definitely how they use the sidelines. Can they take the clock out of it a little bit, get the ball wide, get it out of bounds and stop the clock? That's a big question here as the Raiders acquitting themselves very well here today, but they want more. Here's the throw to the outside in motion, and that's Giancola picking that one up as he takes the ball in stride. But overall, it looks like it was just good for a couple of yards. Owen Giancola wrapped up nicely by Grayson Statham. Into the pocket. Sadler Smith, he's just going to run towards the outside and the out of bounds, and he'll hop over the 30-yard marker and get out of bounds, stopping the clock. It says 32 seconds up on the field clock. Sadler Smith just making sure to run that one out of bounds and give themselves some time to talk about this play and get it set up. Ruben Bonsu on the near side, Harmon Ahuja down the left side. They're in motion now, 3 down the left side. Through the middle, there's the catch. Brought down, and it's a great catch by who else? Paul Romanoff gets up in the air, and he gives the ball to the referee. They want this hurry-up offense. There's little time, but they're making the best use of it that they can. Paul Romanoff doing Paul Romanoff things late in the game. There's the snap. Sadler Smith, little bit of pressure over the middle, and it bounced in, and it's intercepted. Back come the Okanagan Sun, and that one was picked off by Ahmed Borhat, and that will wrap this one up for the Okanagan Sun. They're going to take this one. The rest of the time on the clock is just merely for aesthetics as the Okanagan Sun get that interception. Like I said, they were basically in Hail Mary territory, and that ball bounced off of a couple of bodies and into the arms of Ahmed Borhat. Almost a gift there. He hardly had to readjust his arms. Just put him in a semi-raised position, and the ball was right there as it bounced off of the two players. And that will wrap things up here for the Okanagan Sun. As I said, just merely seconds on the clock, and in a very well-contested, close-fought game between two good rivals. And the Okanagan Sun will improve to 2-0-0 on the season and stay atop the standings. They finished 9-2-0 last season. And for the VI Raiders, it might be a similar 0-2 start, but the teams they fielded have looked anything but similar. And that wraps it up. It's a 7-point difference. The VI Raiders held a 10-point advantage in the first quarter. And a well-fought game. Look at that sportsmanship out there. A number of the players, including, we can't forget about Felice Toscano, who had some very big defensive plays and knocked down a number of opportunities for the Okanagan Sun, especially in the second and third quarter. So coming up just shy, one touchdown short, but it's a 31-24 win for the Okanagan Sun. And as I mentioned, they improved to 2-0 on the season, and they maintain their familiar spot up atop the BC Football Conference standings, as they were for much of the season last year as well. Fantastic game by Paul Romanoff, and I thought Sadler Smith acquitted himself quite well. There's a nice snag by Sam Mellinson, whose work in the first half of the game really set the table for the Okanagan Sun. Under pressure, Sadler Smith can't go anywhere there. He gets crashed into by Santiago Ramirez. Ruben Bonsu, look at that nice little flip handoff pass, but he would find the end zone. And a big play, Paul Romanoff, as he put them back into the driver's seat. Under pressure, though, Sadler Smith, the ball rolling off the end of his right palm and into a fortuitous position for the Okanagan Sun, and that combined with that hefty penalty that the Raiders sustained, Lelion Noah into the end zone. Super entertaining game. There's that good hustle, as I mentioned, kind of a trademark lately of the VI Raiders, like mobile big quarterbacks. But that's the way this one ends today. It's a 31-24 final. The Okanagan Sun victorious on the road, and the VI Raiders dropped to 0-2, but the season looks a lot more promising. And moving ahead, Andrew Harris really has this unit dialed in. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I'm Lorenzo Jensen, and this is BCFC Football. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you in 2 weeks from Nanaimo.